Alright, welcome to another Rugby ABCs video. This one will be about kicking, so drop kicking, punt kicking, grubber kicks, all types of kicks. So let's get into it. Right, so with the standard punt kick, there's some fundamentals that you need to remember. So you need the correct hand position, you need to be able to know how to drop the ball, and you need to know that it can't touch the floor. You need to know the correct body position, and you need to know how to properly kick the ball and follow through. So we'll be covering all that in this video. So with the hand position, if you're right-footed, personally, I like to have my left hand. So I'm right-footed, with my left hand on the top and my right hand on the bottom. So my left hand is predominantly the one holding it. My right hand will just guide it down. So my left hand will be holding it, usually slightly at an angle like this and a bit to the left, just because when you're kicking, you come round, you don't kick straight, you kick around like that. So a bit of an angle and a bit forwards, and then so that's correct hand position. You want to try to avoid like throwing the ball, because that leaves too many things to be left by chance. So if you're kicking and you throw the ball, see, it rotates in the air if you throw it. Rather, when you drop it, it will just drop, just straight down. So if your leg's ready to kick it, then there's much less chance of it going wrong, and you'll have better contact on the kick. So to increase power, if you're looking like you don't get enough power in your kicks, you want to make sure that your non-kicking leg is fully planted, not fully straight, not too bent, but a slight bend. And you want to try get your head above this foot so you can maximize the power. Although sometimes if you're not getting enough distance, then sometimes it's not your power, sometimes it's your technique. So you need to try get your technique proper, and get that all good before you try get your power too good. Because there's no point having power if you can't control where it's going, or you can't utilize the power. Right, so once you've got all that down, all you need to do is the kick. So I'm sure you'll know how to kick a ball. You might have kicked a football, you might have kicked anything, but basically you drop the ball and your body just comes through. So where you want the ball to go determines the angle of the ball you want. So if you want it to go straight up, you'll have a more vertical angle. But if you want it to go further and lower, then you might have a lower angle like this, and you want to connect around here, around the bottom. So around there. This will make sure you just get the most distance and power. So you have your hand position, planted foot, hands like this, slightly angled ball. You drop it, you don't throw it, you drop it, and your foot comes round at an angle, and then you'll have a good kick. So the punt kick is most useful for gaining distance, getting behind the opposition. It's the kick that goes the furthest. So if you want field position, use the punt kick. It's also useful for diffusing situations. So if you're a fullback maybe, and say you catch it in your own 22, and you didn't bring it back in, and then you can use the punt kick to kick it straight out into touch, because then you'll get a line out over there, where it lands in touch, where it lands, not back in the 22. So you can, if it's been a long passage of play, you can just calm down for a bit, collect yourselves, and then continue. Alright, so now we're going to learn about the grubber kick. So it's a bit different. The grubber kick rolls along the ground, so it's not really the same as a punt kick, which goes in the air. So with the grubber kick, the hand position can stay the same, but where you want to kick it is different. So if I'm kicking like this, you want to kick the top half of the ball. So that will get lots of top spin, which is what you need in a grubber kick. So sort of like that, this part of the ball. it'll get spinning and rolling across the ground. When you kick it, you shouldn't try to kick it up. You should try to kick it along, because the grubber kick is meant to go along the ground and not up into the air. So the grubber kick is good for getting behind the opposition. So say you've got the ball, maybe you've got penalty advantage, and you decide to do a grubber kick, get behind the first time the opposition, and you've got some support players running, you can run onto the bounce. The grubber kick, although it's good, it can be quite inconsistent. So it's hard to rely on the bounce of a rugby ball because of the shape. So this can be a good thing and a bad thing. For their defence, it can be a bad thing. So they might be expecting a bounce, but it doesn't. Then they can knock it on. That's good for your team. But also, if your teammates are chasing the ball and it bounces somewhere and they don't get it, then that's a bad thing. So you need to be careful with the grubber kick. Alright, in conclusion, hand positioning. You have your left hand on the top, right hand guiding, so left hand dominant. You need to have a stable base. Keep your head through the base. Kick around your body, not straight. Drop the ball, don't throw it. And if you have all those, I think you'll have a pretty successful kick. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next video.